Going live. You're live. Alright, here I am. What's up? It's party time, people. Thanks for joining, everybody. Hello. Okay, just got the notification. You see, notifications do work whenever the hell they want to. Erick Landon RPG is live now. Q&A Hangout with Erick Landon RPG. Oh, finally some people in the chat. Hello, everybody. Thanks for joining. Thank you very much. Welcome. You know, as usual, I was gonna do a stream of a normal game, but I had well, my computer decided to go apeshit today, and I was in the middle of editing a video, a new top 10 for tomorrow, and wow, it's just a lot of BS. And I was like, I just didn't have time to prepare a game for today's stream, so I was like, you know what? What the hell? I'll just go live myself. Screw the games. Here I am, people. Thanks for joining. So, I didn't even have time to prepare a background. This is it. Nice background, huh? Nice roof. That ceiling? Freaking amazing, huh? Best ceiling ever. Well, I can see my TV here. Maybe I should have put something here on my TV. So can you guys hear me loud and clear? Can you hear the music? I wish there was some way. There's gotta be a way, right? For me to listen to my own music. I hope you guys can hear the music. The background music. Wish I could hear it too, but then it will be echoed into the microphone, and we don't want that to happen, huh? Do we? Do we now? So what's up, people? How is everybody today, tonight? Thanks for joining. The title of the video is Q&A Hangout, so shoot, ask your questions, or just, you know, let's just have a conversation together. Can hear the music? Oh man. Okay, here is. You should be able to hear a little bit of it now. How is it? Some random playlist. I tried to select like a new playlist, several songs that I rarely use, some that I used often, but most of the soundtrack is like new. And you can hear the music now, right? Or is now too loud? Anyway, I didn't tell anybody that I was gonna stream today. Let me just post it on my Discord channel to people, in case they didn't get a notification, because, you know, YouTube, right? Freaking YouTube. Works whenever the hell it wants. Notifications work whenever the fuck they want. I'm glad you're here. Alright, there we go. People of Discord notified. So we'll see them. Yes, I do have a Discord channel, but it's private. It's exclusive to patrons. Because, you know, then if it wasn't private, a lot of people will join. And I have a lot of haters. Yes, and a lot of pretentious viewers. Yeah. it wouldn't be a good idea to make it public. I take care of my little community. So it's kind of like exclusive to Patreon. Oh yeah, I see people asking about Twitter. I don't use my Twitter account. Like, I only used it last year when I was demonetized, because that was the only way to get YouTube's attention, to get my monetization back. So that's what happened. That's the only reason I created that account. I don't really like Twitter, but it's there. And I recently just I went back to it just to see if there was anything new. Like, wait, I haven't logged in a while, so let's just do this. So I went and I saw Super Derek trying to reach out to me. Yeah, we've talked and we're planning a collaboration video, but that's all I can say right now. Alright, so let's get on with your questions. Have I ever played Live a Live? No, that's like a Super Famicom RPG, isn't it? I never played it. I've heard it's fully translated, so maybe I can just download it, play it, and maybe stream it? Am I looking forward to Ys 9 on the Switch? I'm looking forward to it on the PlayStation 4. I'm a PlayStation guy, I like Nintendo, I like the Nintendo Switch, but I always give preference to PlayStation releases. If a game is released on both systems, I go for the PlayStation version. Always. I'm a PlayStation fanboy. So I'm looking forward to it. I'm just disappointed that we're gonna have to wait like another year. Like, that's just, damn you, Niece of America. But hey, at least we're getting the game, right? 2 years later after its release. But damn, it's something. My guess is that they don't want Trails of Cold Steel 4 to get in the way. Like, I think Trails 4 is going to be released in October this year. For marketing reasons, it will be stupid to release both games at the same time. They will be competing against each other. So it makes sense that they decided to push one game until next year. I would have done the same. Do I know Happy Console Gamer? Yes, I do. Yes, I do. I've known that. Well, I've known his channel. I don't know him personally. I've never talked to the guy. He's been there for quite some time. I found out about his channel a long time ago. I don't really watch his content, but yeah, fellow Ys fanboy. Do you like Yu-Gi-Oh? No. Not really, no. I tried it once, you know, the card game, with a friend. Nah, couldn't get into it. No, I'm not collaborating with Happy Console Gamer. Do I know this SNES Drunk channel? Yes, I do. I'm not a fan of that guy because he reviews the game so fast. Like, I can barely keep up with his videos. Like, he just starts randomly, fast, quick pace, blah 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 blah. 5 minutes later, the review is over, and I'm like, what? I don't know. He has great editing skills, and to be able to do a review that quick in that way, that it takes talent. So my respect, but I'm not a fan of his channel because of that. You know, he loses me. Yes, I'm a big fan of Baten Kaitos on the GameCube. Love the heck out of that game. What do I think of the PlayStation 5? Well, what can I say? I'm looking forward to it, but I'm not really excited because I've only owned the PlayStation 4 for a year and a half, and I'm quite happy with it now. I've only owned the Switch for like a year, probably less. So, okay, I'm gonna wait like most people. Well, not most people, I mean, like a lot of people, I'm just gonna wait until the price is more accessible to get it. Probably wait a couple of years. Is there any changes you will make to the Tales gameplay combat? No, like you have to be more specific. Like, all the Tales series have similar gameplay mechanics, similar combat mechanics, but they're all they all have this uniqueness to each title released. so I wouldn't change anything. I would change a few things about the older or some of the new ones. Like I would have changed like the Cesteria. Tales of Cesteria combat is kind of convoluted, and it's just there's just something wrong about the battle system in Cesteria. I would have liked to change it a little bit, maybe like the one in Tales of Berseria. Anyway, people, you can donate, you know. If I miss your question, just don't be afraid to ask it again. Have I played Grand Knight's History on the PSP? Yes, I did. I never finished it, but I got somewhat far. I think I put like 10 hours into it. So it's gotta be a short game. I did play it. It was pretty good, but yeah, I got to a point when I was like not enjoying it greatly anymore, and other games got in the way, and I never went back to it. It's a good game, but let's just say it's not a great JRPG. Will I make a complete list of Xbox 360? Yes, I'll be making, for the rest of the year, I'll be making lists. It's not always going to be that content, because I know you guys, both you and me, are going to be tired eventually. Like, for example, I guess I haven't told anybody this, but for now I'm done with the complete list videos for a while. The next time I'll start making the complete list on strategy RPGs of each relevant system. But for now, I'm gonna give it a few weeks, a rest. I'm gonna give the series a break and do something else, because I don't want my channel to be just complete list of this and that like for 2 or 3 months. I don't think it's a good idea. But yeah, every now and then I'll start like doing 1 or 2 weeks of the complete lists, and then a break, and then again, and so on for the rest of the year. Did you play Trials of Mana? Yes, I played both the original and the remake, but only for a little. The remake only the demo. Hey, Gamer T Wise, I think it's Gamer Tis, right? I'm gonna call you Gamer Tis. What's up, buddy? Would you ever try and play Dragonforce? I played it. You mean the game on the Sega Saturn, right? I played that game. Very good game, very original. I don't really have nothing negative to say about it, because I played it so little. You know, I just had this friend a long time ago who had a bunch of Sega Saturn. He had a small Sega Saturn collection. That's when I got to play games like Panzer Dragoon Saga, Dragonforce, Magic Knight Rayearth, etc. English ones, the English translated ones. But that was a long time ago, and I haven't touched a single Sega Saturn game in years, maybe. Well, except at my other friend's house, but he doesn't have any North American releases for any role-playing games. Which Trails of Cold Steel is your favorite? Well, there's only 3, and it's like one game. Has the same story, directly connected. I can't decide, but so far I've beaten all 3 of them. I've enjoyed the second one a little bit more than the other 2, but it's hard to see them as different games for me. It's like one game. Hey Chris, what's up, man? You thinking about making a list of the top 10 indie RPGs? Yes, I am. My problem with indie RPGs is that it's so hard to keep up with them, because there are so goddamn many nowadays, like a million of them. And you're not gonna believe this, but a lot of people, a lot of these indie developers contact me. They send me emails so I can play their game. They give me the code for free. Hey, just play the game for free and talk about it. And I'm like, yeah, no. And the problem is that most of these games are just the same old story. Like, it's gotten old. We know you love retro RPGs. We know you are influenced by them. And every single one of them is like, oh, it's a Metroidvania influence. Oh, it's a love letter to 16-bit RPGs. Every single one of them. Like, can you create something original? Like, come on. Stop with your influences. We get it. All of us, we love them. We love retro RPGs. Stop. That's okay. The other problem is that most of these developers contact me to their games are on Steam only. I don't play Steam, I don't play on my computer, I don't like it. I know I can just plug it on a controller. I do play emulators, but I'd rather play the emulators on my TV, on my console, like the PS TV or the PlayStation 2, something like that. But yeah, I do want to make an indie RPG top 10. I do want to make one specifically for the Switch. I think just a video with the name Switch on it. It's gonna gain a lot of views. So. Are you locked down where you are because of COVID-19? Well, I live in a very, very small town and here in Canada at the moment. People stopped giving a rat's ass like since last month. We're not exactly locked down anymore. Most businesses are open. They opened a couple of weeks ago. At least in this city, the lockdown is over. Was there an RPG that was your favorite before Chrono Cross? Yes, Super Mario RPG. Did you pick up the recent Steam release of Golden? No, man, I was just talking, I was just saying I don't play on Steam. It's not about the money, people. I don't play on Steam. What part of I don't like playing on Steam? You don't understand. Ever played Sense of Destruction on the DS? I did play it, I never finished it. Because it's one of those games, it's a very good game, but it's one of those games where there's like a huge difficulty spike with some bosses every now and then, and I just got to one of those like very late in the game, and I was like, I couldn't take it anymore. It wasn't exactly a rage quit, I just quit the game, stopped playing, pissed me off, and moved on, and never went back to it. But it's a good game. I'd like to go back to it one day. Have you ever made or thought about making an RPG? Yeah, I've been involved in 3 projects. None of them worked because the guys couldn't make up their minds on what they really wanted to do. I was like, okay, I can do the story, that's all I can do. I'm also a musician, but I don't have the right instruments or the right equipment to compose music, so all I can do is write the story or create the characters. Not design them, just create them, conceive them. That was my job for these 3 projects, and not a single one worked out, sadly. I do want to make my own RPG one of these days, but I have zero patience for programming and designing. Oh my god, I know what it's like, and it's I don't want to do that. I'll write the story, you guys do the rest. Do you have to wear masks when you go out? No. It's mandatory, I think, in some cities here in Canada, but not in all of them. At least not the one I live in. Thank you very much, Rem. I don't like playing games on Steam, not because I don't... it's not because I have something against Steam. It's just because I have a ginormous backlog of physical media and on emulation. Like, I'd rather play a lot of the retro RPGs that I have never finished or that I haven't played than get my hands on Steam. If I start playing on Steam, my infinite backlog is gonna be even more infinite. That's why. So maybe someday I'll get to Steam, but not in the coming years. Thank you very much, Aldo. Thanks a bunch, man. Hey, Jason. Any update on my next book? I'm working on it. I haven't written a single word, but I already... Well, you know what it's like. You're a writer yourself. You know what it's like to just take a shower or just sit down or lay down in bed and start, thinking about it, planning it. Oh, and this scene is going to be like this, and this character is going to be like this is going to happen. If I start the book like this, what's going to... all that jazz. You know the drill that goes in your head when you're creating a book. That's the phase I am currently right now on my new book. But I haven't written a single word of it. I just want to... Oh, well, I guess I should give you guys a little background. I'm planning to write one of those adventure books. The ones that are like you start reading and... Oh, if you want to kill the bastard that murdered your family, go to page 14. If you want to forgive him, go to the next page. That's the kind of book that I want to write. I've never written a book like that, and I love them, so that's what I'm planning to do. But right now I'm on the planning process. Like, I'm just getting ideas in my head and trying to figure out which ones could work and which ones couldn't work. It's like that. Thanks for asking, Jason. Madrid, huh? Which is the worst game you have played and the best? Well, when it comes to RPGs, the best is Chrono Cross. The worst is, I'm not sure if it's Draken on the Super Nintendo or Tracia or Time and Eternity on the PlayStation 3. Tales of Crestoria? What the hell is that? Is that a mobile game? If it's a mobile game, I'm not interested in the list. You mentioned during your last Q&A that you had motivation block when writing books. What gets you motivated when writing books? Mostly is, well, how do I put this? Let's just say that I reached a point where I don't want to write just for pleasure anymore. Like, I want to write because I love writing, but also because I'm gonna do something with that book, with that story. It's not something that I just can't write and give away for free. I want to do some business with my work. I want to make money out of it. I know I'm not going to make a lot of money, but some money out of it. So I lose motivation when I don't see a clear vision, business-wise, both business-wise and artistically speaking. That's when I lose motivation. That's why I've been unmotivated the entire year, because right now I just don't have any vision whatsoever. I don't know what I'm going to do with that particular book. And well, that happened before. I've come up with a new plan. I'm trying to come up with a strategy that will work, that will get the book the attention it deserves. Because my last two books, The Reaper's Thorn and let me show it, and Morgana's Code, didn't do very well until much later, because of the lack of marketing, because of the lack of good places like anime conventions or show or book conventions, book fairs, to sell them. And that's what made me lose all motivation. Like, the inspiration is there. I've been itching to write a new book since last year, but it's just like, the moment I start planning the book, the moment I start thinking at the same time, what am I going to do with it? Can you do a list about best and worst cover art? That would be a good idea. A long time ago I did one on the names. It didn't do very well, nobody watched it, but it was a fun experience nonetheless. But yeah, about the best cover arts on RPGs, that's a good idea. The first Suikoden will be there. Always comes to mind. When it comes to bad covers in RPGs, that's the first one that comes to mind. That's an interesting question. What's your resource for discovering new RPGs, or how do you stay on top of all of these RPG games? Well, several websites. There's a lot of lists on Reddit, and well, I have a list that I update every time that I find out about a new RPG or a Jrpg. I have a huge list that I've been doing since 2 or 3 years ago, but it's just as easy as going online and check on several different websites about lists, complete list of PS1 RPGs, and you find several websites, and I just grab the information from there. It's been a cool series. These complete lists of turn-based RPGs has been a fun series for me, because I found out about games that I didn't even know existed. I didn't know there was a one-piece turn-based RPG on the 3DS. And I just uploaded that video yesterday. I didn't know about it. What do I think about Caddy Carus? Never heard of that person. Can you say only in Japan? Everybody's a writer nowadays. Would you ever be willing to stream Nights in the Nightmare? No, because I don't even understand the game. I'm not gonna be able to. It's gonna be a fiasco of a stream, you know. It's just not gonna work. I can try some other stream. I can try streaming confusing RPGs or convoluted like Resonance of Fate or The Last Remnant, because there's something about them that I understand. But when it comes to Nights in the Nightmare, I don't understand anything. I don't understand that game. Wow, you follow me on Goodreads? I haven't... Wow, Goodreads. I haven't done anything in that website for years, man. Thanks for reminding me that that website exists. Which Breath of Fire is your favorite? Breath of Fire 4. I didn't know about the Naruto RPGs on the DS either. When I found out, I was like, what? There's 2 Naruto RPGs, turn-based RPGs. Fuck me. Yeah, we're all learning together with these lists. Yakuza games, JRPGs or not. I don't know, man. I only played one on the PlayStation 2. I think it was the first one. And it felt more like a Japanese version of Grand Theft Auto. I mean, there are RPG elements in there, that's for sure. I don't consider them as RPGs, but I don't argue with when people do. My favorite Chrono Cross song. That's a hard one. The one you hear when you are in the Vortex dimension, the Cleft of Dimensions, in that little bizarre town, and your links. That's my favorite. Do I have any tips for Trails in the Sky? Second chapter? I assume you play the first chapter first? I don't know why you're asking for tips. I mean, it's pretty much the exact same game. There are little improvements, but I don't know. Play it on easy? I'm not sure. I don't remember if you can play that game on easy mode. I mean, it's hard. Or just grind. I don't have a Reddit account. I just visit the website for information, but I don't have a Reddit account. Yes, I played Tracia 776. I love that game, but I also hate it. What was the console that got you into RPGs? I guess the PlayStation 1. Hey, what's up, Travis? Spooders, what's that? Yakuza 7 will have turn-based JRPG. Yeah, I've seen the trailers. Well, I guess I'll have to play it one day and, you know, decide if it's really a role-playing game or not. How can I get better at playing more than one RPG at once? Why would you want to do that? Play once or twice, max. I play once or twice. I rarely move on to a third RPG. On my free time, I usually play once or twice at the same time. Preferably just one. I guess I'm not the best person to ask advice for that. Why don't you stream on Twitch? I don't stream there anymore because the business model didn't work out for me. It was just too much. I'm a casual gamer. Well, I'm a casual streamer. I mean, I do stream here a lot because the donations are automatic. They get added to my YouTube account, and then at the end of the month, and they can transfer to my bank account, and Twitch doesn't work that way. That's why I don't like it. Do you like Golden Sun? Yeah, yes, I do like it. I'm not the biggest fan, but Have you ever been in a recording studio? Yeah, once I was invited to a radio show. That was a long time ago. I wasn't a YouTuber then. This recording studio was from a friend of my brother's. My brother, he had a radio show, and I was just a guest. That was the first and only time I've ever been in a real recording studio. Do you know the writer Brandon Sanderson? Never heard of him. Have you played Mother 3? Nope. Nope, I keep hearing it's like an amazing game, much better than Earthbound, but since Earthbound turned me off, I kind of, ignored Mother 3. 13 Sentinels now has a better chance. It does. I don't think it's gonna be a commercial success because from what I've seen in the gameplay mechanics, in the gameplay videos, it looks very like totally different. It's not an action RPG anymore. It's not turn-based. It's just a convoluted mess. It looks like it's gonna be one of those cross-genre games. Weird game. I like what I see. Don't take me wrong. I love Vanillaware, it just looks like it's gonna be something completely unique and different. Plus, that name is not gonna help at all. Are there any story cliches in RPGs that you like? Well, nowadays I've gotten a little bit tired of most of them. It's just the same cliches over and over again. It's hard to find a good RPG without a swarm of cliches. I could have answered that question a long time ago, but nowadays I'm pretty much tired, a little bit tired of all of them. Yes, I've played the first Shin Megami Tensei. Man, it's really rough. Really, really rough. Not a bad game. For its time, it was a good game, but it's just, I didn't get very far into it. What are my other hobbies besides gaming? Well, reading books, watching TV series, watching other YouTubers, hanging out with friends, but that's hard considering the quarantine status. Do you still upload in Spanish? Yes, I just uploaded a video today in Spanish, but in my other channel. It's called Discusión Gamer. It's a channel in Spanish I have with a friend, and we upload content in Spanish all the time, like once a week. What? My Etrian... what? Oh, yeah. No, man, I'm not a fan of Etrian Odyssey. At all. That's why I rarely cover them on that, and that's why you'd never see them in almost any of my lists. I love the soundtracks. Yuzo Koshiro, he's an amazing composer from the good old Sega days. But the games themselves, first-person dungeon crawlers with generic characters and almost zero story, not my type of RPG. Front Mission 3, you mean the PlayStation 1. I loved it. I haven't gone back to it. I played it for a long time. I think I did like 4 or 5 hours. It was pretty good, pretty interesting game. Mistborn. Oh, thanks, I'll look into it. No, this is not the Time and Eternity stream. What am I playing right now during the quarantine? Well, I finished Trails of Cold Steel 3 last week, and I went back to Octopath Traveler. I'm dead set on finishing Octopath Traveler. That's pretty much the only RPG I'm playing at the moment. best JRPGs of this current era. Well, I guess it's similar to the video I did earlier this year called Top 20 Best JRPGs of the Decade. Do you think Shadow Hearts 1 is better than Covenant? I think they're equally amazing. Obviously, the interface and the battle system was improved a little bit on Covenant. So Covenant beats the first one on that, but it's just... The first one has better story and a better setting. There's less fan service and less comedy. I can't decide, man. To me, they're both equally amazing. Hard to decide. Where am I from? I'm from Mexico. Currently, I live in Canada, but I'm from Mexico. I haven't ranked all the Tales of games, but I did my top 10 best Tales of games a while ago. My favorite is Tales of Legendia. That's a good question. You mean this game? Have I played this game? Yes, I have. Brutally hard. I love Octopath Traveler. It just pisses me off, man. Octopath is so goddamn good that it just makes me keep coming back to it. Like I rage quit in the game, and I'm like, this is it. Fuck this game. And several hours later, I'm back there again, thinking, okay, now if I do this and that, I can kill this boss. You know what I'm talking about, right? You get that feeling when you're playing a good game. That's what happens when a good hard game. Because when you play a hard game that it's bad or that it's just beyond ridiculous, even though it's good like this one, you just rage quit forever. You never go back to it. But Octopath is just, there's something about it that makes me want to keep coming back no matter how much it pisses me off. But it's a great game. Thank you very much, Dsi Rpg. I hope I pronounced that correctly. Thanks for your videos you do, man. They have actually helped me gain knowledge on RPG games, which helped me at my job. No problem, man. It's my pleasure. Thank you very much for your donation. Do you plan to do a top 10 of the best JRPG villains? Yes, I am. It's gotta be released this year. I am planning one. No problem, Benedito. You know what Octopath Traveler's biggest problem is? The fact that your inactive party members don't gain experience. That is so fucked up, man. For a game like that requires a lot of grinding, that is so messed up. They fucked up with that. I don't know if they did that on purpose or if they thought it was a good idea. It was a terrible idea. If you're gonna make a game like that, where you gotta grind every single character because you want to see their chapters through, that was a bad idea. Don't fucking do that. I'm planning a rage quit video soon. Another one. Oh yeah. And you bet your ass Traveler's gonna be there. It's probably gonna be the spotlight in the video. I'm loving the game, don't take me wrong, but do I play any mobile RPGs? No. Not really. Do you think Tactics Ogre should get a remaster? Nope, because I'm not a fan of the game. I'm sorry. It already got one on the PSP, so... It's pronounced Dsi Rpg. Dsi Rpg. Alright, thanks buddy. I don't mind about bosses changing and hiding their weaknesses, you know, I don't mind that much. And I do mind what I said on Discord, Jason, that they have way too much HP, completely unnecessary, like why? But that's okay. My biggest problem is that your inactive party members don't gain any experience, so when you go to their chapters, there you go to level them up. What do you not like about Pokemon? I don't really like games about monster collecting or monster training. Not only Pokemon, like all of them, Digimon, and some of the obscure ones. It's the same reason why I never finished games like Jade Cocoon, because I got to a point where I was like, I just don't see the appeal of training monsters. I'd rather train human characters or races, something like that. I'm more of a fan of those types of games. Do you think Final Fantasy V is hard? Yes, it is. It's not that hard, but it's hard. I think Final Fantasy IV is harder. Rumors of a Lost Odyssey remake? Oh, thanks, that's great news, man. That's great news. I have, well, you will see tomorrow's video. I'm gonna cover Lost Odyssey tomorrow. Do you play any other genres in your extra time? And if you do, is your second favorite? I guess you mean what's my second favorite video game genre? That's fighting games. I love fighting games. I love beat 'em ups. And well, that answers your question. I do play other genres. Nope, I've never played Digimon Story Cyber Sleuth. I keep getting that recommendation a hell of a lot. But in the end, it's a monster collecting game. Have I played Ultima 7? Nope. I've only played Ultima 4, and I couldn't get into it. Lunar 1 or 2? I'll keep the first one. I think the first one is better, in my opinion. Do you think the Final Fantasy franchise is overrated? Yes, extremely overrated. Just like Pokemon. Now, in all seriousness, I think it is. Considering the last games have been not Final Fantasy-like. I did play Final Fantasy IV for a little bit on the Nintendo DS, but I didn't get to the hard part of it. Will you support bringing back the original Shining Force series? Yes! Shut up and take my money, yes! Hell yeah! Well, you know what the problem is with Shining Force? If it ever comes back, Sega owns the IP. If it ever comes back, how the hell are they gonna do it? Because the developers, Camelot Software, they're gone. They belong to Nintendo now. They're making Mario Golf. It's just a matter of getting Sega and Camelot back together. You always ask me about a 7th Saga livestream. I've said no before because it's just a big, ginormous grind fest. Like it's gonna be 2 hours of just grinding. If you really want your question answered, keep asking. Don't be afraid. Or donate something. That will highlight it. Nah, I don't like Monster Hunter World. Any of the Monster Hunter games. The one that I found pretty cool was Monster Hunter 4 on the 3DS. I was like, hey, this is pretty decent. I am a huge fan of Shin Megami Tensei, so yep. Nihon Falcon versus Atlus. Well, keep in mind, Atlus develops Shin Megami Tensei, Persona, and a few other games, and that's it. Since I'm a big Shin Megami Tensei fan, I'm gonna pick Atlus. Somebody should do a video. Somebody called Erick Landon RPG. Ever heard of that guy? A video about, called Trails of Cold Steel versus Persona. My favorite Breath of Fire is Breath of Fire 4, and I love Phantasy Star, especially 4. Phantasy Star 4, I loved it. Vagrant Story, I did play it, never got any far into that game, it was very hard and I just couldn't get into it. My opinion on Mortal Kombat. I love the retro ones. I love Mortal Kombat 2, Mortal Kombat Ultimate. I love those two, but after those games I lost track. I played Trilogy on the PlayStation 1, but that's like a port of the Super Nintendo / Genesis games. I'm not a Mortal Kombat fan anymore, although I will always remain a fan of the Super Nintendo games. Except the first one. Everybody loves the first one. I don't. I don't like it. Yes, I think we'll get some Shin Megami Tensei 5 news. My favorite Jrpg soundtrack is Chrono. What's the most time you ever spent on an RPG? Chrono Cross, probably. Chrono Cross and Valkyrie Profile 2. What do I think about the first two Paper Mario games? They're pretty darn good. I never gotten far into them. The one I played the most was the Nintendo 64 game. It was alright. I prefer Super Mario RPG. What about monster collecting I don't like? I just don't find it appealing. A Legend of Mana Remaster. I will be happy, yeah. It's probably gonna happen, you know. They did remake Adventures of Mana, Secret of Mana, Trials of Mana. Legend of Mana is just bound to happen. It will happen at some point. It will make me happy, yeah. I do like... I'm not gonna lie, I don't like the Mario and Luigi games. I think they're kind of boring. The battle system, how it plays out, is just not appealing to me. My respect goes to those games. They're not bad games at all. I can't get into them. My favorite non-RPG genre is fighting games, and my favorite non-RPG game, that's a tough one. Really tough one. Every time somebody asks me that question, I always pick games like Hunting Ground on the PS2, or the Persona 4 Arena fighting games, or Super Mario World on the Super Nintendo, Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles, Turtles in Time on the Super Nintendo. Hard to choose. Little Nightmares on the PlayStation 4, Xbox One, I love that. Jesus Christ, get over it. I don't like Pokemon, period. Jesus. I don't understand why some people have, like, the need for others to explain them in detail and justify why they don't like something. Just let it go, man. Do you like Streets of Rage? Yes, I haven't played the fourth one, but I love the first two games, especially the second one. Yep, huge fan of Dot Hack here. Dot Hack GU, love them to pieces, man. What do I think is the worst story in an RPG? Well, you know, there's this game called Time and Eternity that is pretty bad. Yeah. Which Growlancer game do you suggest to get into the series? Growlancer 5, that's the one that got me into the series. Heritage of War on the PlayStation 2. It's still a hard game, but compared to the others, it's the easier one. I will suggest you start with that one. Plus, in my opinion, it's the best of them all. I don't think Persona is gonna change. I don't think Persona is gonna stop being turn-based. Probably never. What's my favorite metal band other than Nine Inch Nails? Metal band. Oof. Just some of my other favorite bands are not metal. Can I pick Fear Factory? Probably Fear Factory. Or Deftones. I'm not sure if Deftones can be considered as metal. But if you consider Deftones as metal, then Deftones. I love Persona 4 Arena, man. Love those games to pieces. My 5 favorite beat-em-ups? I can't choose. Probably Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles, Turtles in Time. The arcade game on the NES 2. Streets of Rage 2. Hard to choose. Dragon's Crown. Well, that's an action RPG, but it's also a beat-em-up. My opinion on random encounters. Do I think it is a dated mechanic? Yes, it is. I don't know why Octopath Traveler decided to... Enough about that game. Yes, I think they're outdated. They shouldn't exist anymore. Do I like the patch mode? Not really. I've listened to a lot of the patch mode and I wouldn't call myself a fan, I mean. My favorite art in RPGs? Probably Vanillaware. Yeah. Any Vanillaware game. Well, it's gonna sound like not very artistic, but I love the art in the older Fire Emblem games, the Super Nintendo, Game Boy Advance, GameCube, Wii. Speaking about Fire Emblem, there's somebody. Which remakes you think will get first, the Telios games or Elite games? I'm down with whatever. I think the Elite games will be better because they were never released outside of Japan, and they're brutally hard and unbalanced. I think remakes of those two is much needed than the other games. Yes, the Persona Q games are good, but only if you like dungeon crawlers in first person. I finished the first one on the 3DS. Not a fan of Dark Souls. The only Souls game I like is Bloodborne, and I have never finished Bloodborne. 2D or 3D RPG? Jrpg, no preference, I love both. The RPG with the best combat mechanics, Suikoden, because it has 3 combat mechanics, each and every single one of them. You can't beat that. Thanks, Jose. My favorite food? I don't know. When you're a Mexican, it's very hard to choose your favorite food. Fire Emblem Awakening or Fire Emblem Three Houses? I'll pick Three Houses. I think the story in Three Houses is much better than Awakening. Do I like Fallout? Nah, man, not a fan of the Fallout games. I love the concept of the Fallout games, but as video games, I don't like them. I would love to see like a movie or a series based on the Fallout games. Yeah, I know, man. Dragon Quest 1 and 2, random encounters. Yeah, it's crazy. What's the best Shin Megami Tensei game? Wow, Apocalypse. Nocturne. Yeah, pretty much. Unless we're counting the spin-offs on Devil Survivor. My personal favorite is Devil Survivor 1. But if you mean the main line, yeah, Apocalypse or Nocturne. Did you like reading Historia? What are you talking about? Who? What? I'm a huge fan. I loved Nier Automata. I loved it. What can I say, you know, yeah, consider me a fanboy. I loved Nier Automata. I still prefer the first Nier, but yeah, I loved Automata just the same. Yes, I played Bioshock, but I don't like games in first person or first person shooters. Can't stand playing them. Nothing against them, it's just they make me kind of dizzy. I don't know, it's just I get motion sickness when I play first person shooters. Even Doom. I've never finished a single Xenoblade Chronicles game. Hey, Andrea! What are you doing here? You caught me live. That's my cousin there, everybody. Andrea Gonzalez. Hello! Never expected to see you here. Hola. Are you getting a PlayStation 5 on launch? No, I never get a single console on launch. Too expensive, man. Too expensive. Like, what's the point now? I always wait. Always. Years, if I have to. Make a top 10 favorite non-humanoid party members. That's a good one. It's a good idea. Knights of Azure. That's a good one. Well, they're probably, yeah, there will be a part 3. I'm pretty sure there's gonna be a Knights of Azure 3 one of these days. Pretty sure. Do you like dungeon crawler RPGs? Some of them depends on, I guess. I'm not a fan of all of them, but I'm a fan of a lot of them. Depends on the game. The real Nier is coming out soon. Yep, I know, I made a video about that. Can you discuss what microphone, editing software and such that you use? This is the microphone that I use. I hope you can see it. This is the Blue Snowball Ice. This is my microphone. And take a good look. And I guess the one that I use for the streams is this one. This is the one that Jason sent me with the PS4. This is the one, it's just a hands-free, you know, normal but PlayStation microphone for when I stream video games. But for my videos and these types of streams, I use the Blue Snowball Ice. The editing software that I use is called VideoPad. It's professional, it's completely free. It's not very good and it lags a lot and crashes. Like it crashed today, for example. The reason I'm not streaming an RPG today is because when I was editing my new video, tomorrow's video, it crashed and I had to restart my computer. It's not a good editing software, but it's free and I know how to use it. It's hard to learn how to use a new editing software. It's so hard. Top RPG music composers. I have a couple of videos about that. Top 10 best Jrpg soundtracks and underrated soundtracks. Some of my favorite composers are there. Top of my head right now, Yasunori Mitsuda. That's my favorite of all time. Shoji Meguro too. A lot, man. Nobuo Uematsu. Yoko Shimomura. Man, she's... Yoko Shimomura, man. That's one of my favorites. Even though I'm not a fan of Kingdom Hearts. How many RPGs I play at the same time? Usually just 1 or 2. The best Tales of? Well, my favorite is Tales of Legendia on the PS2. Do you plan to do a top 10 best boss battles? Well, I did some videos about that, but that was many years ago. I might redo them one of these days. The problem is that when you do videos about music, it's kind of hard to spotlight the music because of copyright claims, sadly. You know, companies love to bitch about their music being used. Like, most companies allow you to use their gameplays, but music? Nope. I don't know why. What do I think of Superman 64? It's a piece of crap, man. It's a horrible game. No, I don't play Grand Theft Auto. I do like the King of Fighters. I'm not the biggest fan, but I do like a couple of games. I'm more of a Guilty Gear Arc System Works fan, you know, Blast Blue. Do you think they will ever port or remaster the Saga Trilogy or the Dot Hack Quadrology? Okay, the Saga is not gonna happen. Earlier this year, Bandai Namco said no, openly. They said no, we're not going to remaster or remake the Saga Trilogy. Sorry, they gave us the finger, man. And Dot Hack, it probably will happen at some point. I mean, we got GU on the PlayStation 4. Maybe we'll see a Tetralogy remaster on the PS5. Ironically, there's better chances of a Dot Hack quadrilogy happening than Saga. What? That's a funny question. I gotta read that. Would you rather be stuck in a 12-hour car drive with Selphie from Final Fantasy or Colette from Tales of Symphonia? I pick Colette, because Selphie is just very annoying, and Colette, she's not annoying, she's just clumsy, but she's okay. I pick Colette. That was a really interesting question. Yes, I did finish Arc Rise Fantasia. I did it. It was freaking hardcore, man, but I beat the game. Will Tokyo RPG Factory get another chance? Another chance on what? What are you talking about? Yes, I played Metal Gear, but I'm not a fan. Favorite Trails game? Probably Trails in the Sky. Dark Wizard? Did I ever play Dark Wizard? You mean the one on the Sega CD? I did play it. It's very good. It's hard to get into, but it's very good. Are you alright with the way the video game industry is headed? You will have to elaborate on that. I'm not sure exactly what you mean. That's a very big question. Thank you very much, Invisible War. Do you play survival horror games? Yes, I do. I'm a huge fan. I don't really play them much anymore, but I'm a huge fan of Haunting Ground, some of the earlier Resident Evil games. The first Silent Hill blows my mind. I love it to pieces. Got lost here in your comments, sorry. Yeah, man, huge fan of Project Cross Zone. Huh. It's, I'm curious about why people are asking about games that I covered today in the video that you will see tomorrow. No, I don't play MMOs. I'll see what I can do about the Yakuza turn-based game that it's coming. I'm not a fan of Yakuza, but if I ever get my hands on it, somehow, I'll give it a go. Should you play Etrian Odyssey? I don't know, man. I think you should give him a chance and see if you like him or not. Yeah, it's a big question. I'm more familiar with the RPG industry, Jrpg industry right now than the entire video game industry. There's a lot of things that I do like and that I don't like. Like, for example, I don't like the fact that there's more focus on graphics and fan service than a good story. but I do like that there's a lot of focus on originality, that companies trying to create better gameplay mechanics, better interface, better battle systems, less random encounters. Exit Fate, never heard of it. Sands of Destruction, good game, but it's just one of those with difficulty spikes. Difficulty spikes galore, man. It's unbearable sometimes, but it's a very good game. Thank you very much, Pixel Trips. Have you played the original Ogre Battle on Super Nintendo? Yes, I did. I like the game, but it's hard to get into it. Well, not hard to get into it, it's just hard to come back to it because the missions are so long, and it's one of those games where you really need to invest the proper time. It's a very good game. I prefer Ogre Battle a million times over Tactics Ogre, even though I'm a huge Tactics fan. Yeah, no, I played the demo, Final Fantasy VII Remake. I played it. It was pretty good. I liked it. Crystal Chronicles? No, man, I couldn't get into it. You mean the one on the GameCube? If that's the game you're talking about, I couldn't get into it. I don't know, I think it's one of those games that if you play it by yourself, I think it's boring. It's just one of those games that people need to play with other people together. The Banner Saga. Yeah, I played the Banner Saga, thanks to Rem. She sent the game to me, the one that has 2 or 3 games. Banner Saga Trilogy or something. I didn't like it. Do you ever want to complete Shin Megami Tensei Nocturne? Yes, one of these days, man, I swear. I will beat that game, or at least I will give it my all. Worst Nintendo DS RPG. Aside from Lunar Dragon's Night in the Nightmare. It's also on the Nintendo DS, and the DS version is worse than the PSP version because you gotta use the stylus for everything. Yeah, probably Night in the Nightmare or... Jesus. There's a bunch of really mediocre games there. We'll have to make a top 10 or top 5 worst Nintendo DS RPGs one of these days. Would you consider covering any other game genres on your channel? Not on this channel. Probably on my second channel. I do cover other video game genres all the time in my channel in Spanish, but in English, on my other channel, not here. I have covered, believe it or not, other genres in this channel, and it just didn't work. The views went down like crazy. I have, believe it or not, I have on this channel a top 5 horror games, survival horror games. Nobody watched it. Have I tried the Mercenaries Wings? Oh, the new one. No, I haven't. I see it on sale all the time for like $7, but for one reason or another I haven't picked it up. Favorite ending in Devil Survivor? Well, without spoiling the game, I like the evil ending. It was pretty interesting. You're going to donate a copy of Dora the Explorer? If it's on the Switch, give it a go. I'm gonna end up trading it. 4 Heroes of Light on the Nintendo DS. I've never played it. My future plans on my other channel. It just keeps getting... it's just... This main channel gets in the way all the time. Like whenever I start planning something for my second channel, something about my main channel gets in the way every time, man. I gotta do something about it. I had to choose only one title to play for the rest of my life, which one would you pick? Time and Eternity or Final Fantasy X-2? Oh man, that's a horrible question. I hate you for that. Why? No! I guess I will go with Final Fantasy X-2. Ugh! Because at least the gameplay is decent. But in Time and Eternity, there isn't a single redeeming quality about it. My favorite RPG battle theme. The Dark Spire. That's my favorite. It's a very obscure turn-based RPG on the Nintendo DS. The first battle theme, that kicks ass, man. Give it a try. That's a very good battle theme. Probably my favorite. Another one of my favorites, ironic, this is a surprise, is the battle theme from Tales of Innocence. It's just so dramatic that sounds like a boss battle theme, but it's the normal battle theme. I love it. Some of the Tales of games have really good battle systems, but Shin Megami Tensei probably beats them all. Suikoden 2 or Chrono Cross? Chrono Cross. Suikoden 2, I love it to pieces, but believe it or not, it's not even in my top 10 favorite RPGs of all time. I prefer Suikoden 5. Suikoden 5 is there, probably on my 10 favorites of all time of all consoles. Suikoden 2 is probably my top 20, but not in my top 10. Don't take me wrong, I love the game. Do you plan to stream something in your second channel? I'll see what I can do this week. Can't make any promises, but I'm trying. Citan from Xenogears, what do I think about him? He's a good character, interesting character. I like him. I've always liked Citan. Always kept him in my party whenever possible. Hey Kalisat! Oh, you want me to share my thoughts on Trails of Cold Steel 3 live compared to 1 and 2? Trails of Cold Steel 3, like I told you guys on Discord, there's one thing about it, it can be a problem at some... It was for me. For sometimes, I am a guy, so I was enjoying the fan service, but there were times where I just couldn't take some scenes seriously because of the shots they made. There was this very dramatic scene, and the camera was focusing on Sarah's tits. How am I supposed to feel empathy for the character, or, you know, get into the drama with that? Don't take me wrong, I loved Trails of Cold Steel 3, but I think it went overboard with the fan service. That's how it compares to the first two games. Other than that, the gameplay mechanics are still amazing. I think the interface is great in all three games. It feels a little bit clunky the third game for some reason. I didn't feel that in the first two games. And also, there's the length situation. All three games are long as hell, but you're not gonna believe it, but I'm gonna show it to you guys right now. Oh wait, I can't, because I will have to go into the game, and that's gonna take some time. The point is that Trails of Cold Steel 3 is very long, and you're probably gonna say, oh, the other two are long too, but this is longer, story-wise. I did 45 hours on the first game, 37 on the second game. In Trails 3, I did like 62 hours. And you guys know me, I'm not exactly the guy who completes the games. I'm not a completionist. I rarely do side quests. I did some side quests in all three games, and still, Trails of Cold Steel 3 far surpassed in length the other two games. I can't believe it. I was like 50 hours into the game, and I was like, when is this game gonna end? It's a great game, Trails of Cold Steel 3. Totally recommend it. It lived up to the expectations at the end. At the beginning, I was a little bit disappointed and confused, you know, because of this cool simulation again, and go visit town, do the quests, and I was like, this again? But it grows on you like the other two Trails of Cold Steel games. That's how it compares to the other two. But bottom line, it's just as good. I'm staying with the second one, but you can't go wrong with Trails 3. I've been discussing Octopath Traveler a lot of time during the stream. It's a good game. I don't want to talk about it anymore. I'm in the middle of it actually. I have 36 hours in. Characters in RPGs that you will be friends with. Huh. Almost all of them. That's a good question. You will have to be more specific about the game. I could answer that question if you give me a game. But all the genres, all the games, all the RPGs in existence, hard to pick. Do you think Shin Megami Tensei 5 has the capacity to bring the franchise out of being niche? I think it will. Shin Megami Tensei 4 and Apocalypse were a commercial success. I don't think Shin Megami Tensei is niche anymore. It hasn't been for quite some time. It's just Persona has always overshadowed it. Start with the Trails in the Sky games. You can start with Cold Steel, but Trails of Cold Steel 3 has major spoilers on both Trails in the Sky and the other series we never got. I strongly suggest you start with Trails in the Sky. Strongly. Come on people, I have here 102 viewers. We need more. Chat revenue, $17? Come on people, is that how much you love me? I'm just kidding. Neptunia games. Yes, I've played a couple. Have you made an updated video of your top 10 favorite RPGs of all time? I haven't. One of these days. Maybe by the end of this year. Who knows? What the hell are you talking about, people? Don't troll. Legend of Dragoon remake? Or no, you're shitting me. It's not happening. What? Which character would you want to be real from Chrono Cross? Probably Harley. She's one of my favorite characters of all time, of all video games. How long have you been making YouTube videos? A long time ago. Well, I started making short films back in 2012. I have a couple of them here on my YouTube channel. You guys can find them and watch them if you want to, but those don't really count as YouTube videos per se. Real YouTube videos, I started making them in... Well, the slideshows don't count, I guess, right? The ones that I did 6 years ago? Because they aren't exactly videos. I'm not there and there's just images of the games and the song. If you count that, then 6 years. But then I started making reviews in Spanish in 2015, almost 5 years ago. So I've been here a while, as you can see. Your most rare and most expensive RPG game you own. This was a gift sent by a fan called Rad. He has a YouTube channel. He sent me this game. Thanks Rad once again. This is the most expensive RPG that I own. But you know, one of these days, all those limited run games are gonna be crazy expensive. So maybe my copy of Cosmic Star Heroine will be my holy grail? I don't do any sports, sadly. I would like to try boxing, but on my own personal private time. But boxing against, you know, the big thing, whatever you call it, to punch, the punch back. The punch back. Thanks, Andrea. Thank you very much, Prima. Gracias, Prima. Maybe by Christmas. Who knows? Come visit me. Do you play any Android or iOS RPGs? Nope. I don't play on my phone. There's only one RPG I've ever played on my phone, and that is Fire Emblem Heroes. And yes, I love the heck out of it, but like a year later or less, it got old, I quit, and that was that. That's my story with mobile gaming. Pretty interesting story, right? Has a JRPG ending ever made you hate the story you just played? Not really. No, I have never seen an ending that makes me hate the story. I have seen some disappointing endings, like the story was great, and the ending is like, really? It just ends like that? Like Growlancer 2. I remember Growlancer 2, The Sense of Justice, has a very lame-ass ending, very short, and it's like, okay. But it didn't make me hate the game or the story. Yes, I'm still in Canada. Miami Sunrise, thank you very much, buddy. What would you say is the hardest boss battle you have experienced? Nothing beats the stupid-ass bird in Baten Kaito's Origins. It's legendary, man. It's fucking garbage. Man, don't make me curse in front of my cousin. Thanks again, Andrea. Thank you very much. How's everybody there, by the way? Thank you very much, Retroidvaniac. That's an interesting name, Retroidvaniac. Like Metroidvania. Thanks for your donations. Thank you very much. Gracias, Prima. So yeah, the hardest boss battle is definitely that guy, although some of the bosses in Octopath Traveler are starting to change my mind about that, you know? Fuck freaking game. Jesus Christ, man. Which Shin Megami Tensei game do you think has the best story? Wow, that's an interesting question. I'm gonna have to pick Shin Megami Tensei 4/Apocalypse. Both games combined together. I think that it has the best story, because Nocturne was really good, but I didn't experience much of the story because I never beat the game. And granted, I didn't beat Shin Megami Tensei 4 either, but I beat Apocalypse. That counts. Oh, I don't drive. What kind of car do you drive? I don't drive. I don't like driving. Not because I had a traumatizing story or some kind of trauma when I was little. No, it's just when my father tried to teach me how to drive various times, I just felt like I was doing something unappealing. Plus, I come from a city, a big city, same city as my cousin here, and it's so frustrating to drive. Like, I see drivers all the time, my parents, my brother, my sister, my friends, whenever they're driving, they are very stressed, always, you know, just hitting on the other drivers. It's just such a negative experience from what I see, and that turned me off. That's why I don't like driving. Plus, I just don't see the appeal, even if I was living in a damn desert. I just don't see the appeal of driving, you know, and speeding up and Which game has greatest replay value? That's you know, that's a huge request. Like, For example, top 10 JRPGs with huge replay value. I'm gonna have to do that video one of these days. Wow, what about Eternal Poison? You got Eternal Poison thanks to me? You're welcome. That is a fantastic game. Favorite JRPG from 2020 so far? Well, I haven't finished a single one of them. Probably Memories of Celceta. I mean, I played and beat the original Vita version, but I heard from my patrons in Discord last night that it's the PS4 port is not that good, full of glitches and problems. What RPG do you think has the most disturbing story? That's a very interesting question. Pandora's Tower. Pandora's Tower on the Wii. That's a very disturbing story, man. Just watch the cinematics of Pandora's Tower, or any reviewer, or even my videos where I've covered the game, because every time I talk about Pandora's Tower, I mention the disturbing aspects of the game. It's not the story per se, the one that is disturbing. It's just the scenes, the grotesque aspects of it. So freaking disturbing, man. Omega Labyrinth. No. Those are the ones with full fan service, right? Roguelike RPGs, I've never played them. I was thinking about Mayq Labyrinth. Piece of garbage. Like, Mayq Labyrinth on the Vita is one of the worst RPGs on the Vita. Like, it makes the Neptunia games look like masterpieces, man. That's how bad it is, in my opinion. No offense to anybody who liked it. How good is Suikoden 3 compared to 2? It's just they're different in so many areas. Back in the day, I used to think 3 was better. Now I think the second one is better. They're equally amazing games, man. I think the pacing in Suikoden 3 is a little bit slow and a little bit hard to keep up with, but it's totally worth it. Oh yeah, I'm playing Zero no Kiseki, huh? I put a song in there. It's like a battle theme or something. My favorite song in Xenogears. It's here. If you haven't listened to it, you probably will if you pay attention. I put the song in this for this stream. My favorite from Xenogears. I would love to see a Pandora's Tower Remaster version 2, because you know what? It's so tiresome to play the game against the bosses with the Wii motion control, man. It sucks. Pandora's Tower is a great game, but it's just one of those games I'm never gonna finish. I'm never. And I know that for a fact, because it just go like this with your controller with the bosses and their bulky HP. It just sucks, man. What do I think? Criminal Girls? Criminal Girls, the battle mechanics is pretty darn good, you know. Gameplay wise, Criminal Girls are good games, as a matter of fact. I like the battle system. A certain girl from Trails in the Sky, if you want to be depressed. What do you mean? Thank you, Breath of the Wild. He says, if you, as a games development company, inherited the licenses for... I knew you were gonna ask a question about that. Inherited the licenses for Time and Eternity, Trazia, Monster Seed, Dragon, and Ephemeral Fantasia. Which of these IPs will you remaster or develop a sequel for? I will never develop a sequel for these games. I will rather remake them. Time and Eternity is a lost cause. Nothing you can do about that piece of trash. Monster Seed had interesting ideas, just very poorly executed. I will fix the problems in Monster Seed. I will fix the problems in Tracia because it also had an interesting concept on the battle mechanics. Draken is a lost cause, it's a point-and-click game, it should never have been turned into an RPG. And Ephemeral Fantasia, or Ephemeral, however that is pronounced, it also has an interesting concept. It's just the camera and... Well, you know what, it's also a lost cause. So I guess my pick will be Monster Seed, because that's the least bad out of the ones you picked for that question. What do you think about the Team Ico trilogy? I love Ico. Love it to pieces, man. Shadow of Colossus just didn't click with me. I don't like that game. And the Last Guardian was pretty darn good too, but I only played it at my friend's house a long time ago, just for a little bit. But Ico, whatever, masterpiece. I love it. Probably one of my favorite... Somebody was asking earlier today what is my favorite non-RPG game. It's not Ico, but it's in my top 10. Best Rune Factory game? Can't help you there, buddy. I'm not a fan. Have you played Catherine? I have. Not for me. I like puzzle games, but only when they're like environmental puzzle games. Catherine was just about, you know, building. I mean, moving the big boxes, and I don't know. It's a good game. It was fun, but I got to like the third mission and I was already bored. I'm not a fan of Naruto, so nope. I played some Naruto games, but not a fan of a single one of them. If you could live in a game, which one would you choose? Any game, not necessarily an RPG? Wow, well, our video games are all about twisted evil taking over the world and catastrophes and tragedies. Well, I think our world is far worse. Oh wow, that's an interesting question. That's an interesting question. I want to answer that. I don't know, man. Maybe the Trails series, because everybody just seems so friendly. That's the real fiction in the Trails universe. That everybody is so friendly. Even some of the bad guys aren't that bad. What are your thoughts on Tales of Arise? That it might be postponed indefinitely. Well, don't make me rant about Bandai Namco. Like, I'm starting to lose all the respect I had for them. This company is not on my good side anymore, unfortunately. So even if I'm not too upset about the postponement, it still pisses me off because it's Bandai Namco. They're starting to become like Square Enix or Konami, man. Any expectations for an upcoming game? Well, Tales of Arise, East 9, Trails of Cold Steel 4. What else? There was something else that I was really looking forward to, but I don't remember. Hyped by Horizon 2. Not really. I haven't even finished the first one. Never got far into it. Remember that day? Sorry, when I streamed it in this channel? That's all I've played about that game. Not a fan of Ratchet and Clank or Jak and Daxter. Sly Cooper. No, not really a fan. I just don't have time to play some non-RPG games sometimes. But I do play non-RPG games frequently, but sometimes I don't find the time to get into certain series. A top 10 video games I would like to live in. It's not a bad idea. Favorite Western RPG? Probably Dragon Age Origins. Yeah. Dragon Age Origins. Have you beaten any of your all-time favorite RPGs in one sitting? Nope, not a single one. Nope. I think the fastest I've beaten an RPG is probably Cosmic Star Heroine in like 5 days, or Super Mario RPG, but in a sitting, no man, that's crazy. Well, there's a few of the retro RPGs that can be beaten in one sitting because they're like 3 hours long. I guess I could do that. I could try that one of these days. Hey Jessica, are you currently writing on any new book projects? I'm planning a project. I want to write one of those adventure type books, the ones where you choose where to go, like save the princess, go to page 35, let her die, go to the next page, that type of book. I'm planning one of those books for this year. Yes, I played No More Heroes. I think they're good games, but it's just something about the camera movement and the layout that I just couldn't get into. My expectations for 13 Sentinels Aegis Rim are normal. They aren't low or high, because from what I've seen in the gameplay footage shown so far, they look like I'm gonna have a hard time getting into them, but it's vanillaware, so I don't have any expectations. One of these days I'll just play the game when it's released, and I'll give you my opinion on it. Right now I'm holding my horses. Oh, that's the game I'm excited for. Scarlet Nexus. Yeah, but it's another Bandai Namco game, so... Project Athia looks interesting, but we only saw like 40 seconds of nothing. Those 40 seconds look interesting though. Project Athia or Athia. I do like Shining Force. I'm a fan of a Shining Force series. Have you seen some of the Jrpg speedruns? Not really. I don't like speedruns. I don't see the appeal on it. I don't know what's so interesting about watching somebody rush through a game and beat it as fast as possible. I don't see the appeal in that. Falcom or Square Enix. Falcom, man. Nowadays, Falcom a million times. RPG with the strangest tile name? Probably Uta Wareru Mono. I mean, it's a Japanese name, but for us, non-Japanese gamers, Uta Wareru Mono, that's a weird-ass name. I did a video on that, the weirdest JRPG names. Check it out, man, it's quite funny. Natural Doctrine is one of the most convoluted pieces of crap I've ever played. Man, I'm not sure. I don't want to call it a bad game, but it's just, I hate it. Yes, I'm gonna play the new Sakura Wars when the price goes down, if it ever goes down. You know, with games like those, they rarely go down. What is the best Lunar game, and in what platform? Don't hate me for this, but I think the best Lunar version is Silver Star Harmony on the PSP. That's just my opinion though, that's the only version I've ever beaten. I do like hack and slash games. Not those though. Bayonetta, Devil May Cry, no. Ninja Gaiden, God of War, nope. You just mentioned all the ones that I don't like. But I do like some action hack and slash games. Among the books you've written, what's your favorite one? It's so personal. It's so... The amount of time and research I invested in this book is like none other I have ever written. And it's just... There's a lot of me and a lot of the life that I lived and the things that I've seen in this book, and my philosophy on life, my views, my points of view. There's just a lot of me in this book, and it's just I fell in love with the characters here that I created. I really like them, and would love to expand on this book's universe. This is my favorite book I've ever written. Because usually, I'm not a big fan of my books because I read them, I go back to them every now and then, and I'm always like, God, no, I didn't write this, and I want to change everything. But this is one of the very few books that I have ever written. Well, I read it right now. I published this book almost 2 years ago, and I read it now, and I don't want to change anything. Not perfect, but I'm pretty sure in a couple of years I'm gonna read it and be like, can you stream East 3? Yeah, I'm planning an East, the remake, Odin Felgana, but it would be a good idea to stream the original. If you wanted to give a child the gift of gaming, but all you had was a Genesis and Tracia, will you refrain from giving the gift? Yes, I would. Nobody should go through such a bad experience in life like I did. Like, don't play that game, people. I'm serious. You people never listen to me. I talk about a bad game and you go there and don't. Whenever I recommend a game, I'm like, okay, this game, I couldn't get into it, it's not bad, maybe play it and have your own opinion. Those are the games that you might want to play, even if I didn't like them. But fucking Tracia? Don't, like, I'm serious, don't play that game. Oh, an old viewer here. Thanks for joining, Roman. Thanks, Roman Jr. Thank you very much, man. 3 subscribers, 3,000. That was like 2 years ago, 2.5 years ago. Huh. Thank you very much, Cyclone. Yeah, I know who you are. You're always there in my streams. I know who you are. Thank you very much for being there, for being a part of that community, the stream community. Omega Quintet. The only redeeming quality is the battle system, and when I streamed that game, I mentioned that the game has a very, well, not very good. It has an interesting battle system, good battle system. That's about the only fucking good thing about that game. Far better than Tracia. Yes, I do like Thousand Arms on the PlayStation. I never finished the game, but I got very far into it. It just got to this dungeon where there was a lot of random encounters, and I got lost. I didn't know where to go, and by the time I realized, I read a guide because I got stuck. By the time I realized what I had to do, it was just too much trouble, so I abandoned the game. A remake of Tracia? Well, hopefully you fixed all the problems. No! Bashamon, thanks for joining, buddy. Have I beaten the final rhythm game bosses of Drakengard 1? I've never beaten Drakengard 1. Drakengard 3, I don't know if you can say that I beat the game because I defeated all the sisters and then I got to the credits. But then after the credits, you get the message that you need all the weapons to unlock the final branch of the story, and that was fucking bullshit, so that was my rage quit. That's when I said, fuck this game. I love Drakengard 3, but that was fucking bullshit, man. I can't believe they did that. So no, I haven't really beaten the game. Yeah, all the time. I get that question all the time about writing a script for a role-playing game. I would love to. And I've been involved in the past in a couple of projects, but they just didn't work out. I guess I need to find the right team of people, or the right team needs to find me or needs to approach me. Because when I work on something, I get serious about it. And all these people that want to make a video game, it's just, I don't see them going anywhere. But I would love to work on the script of a role-playing game. That's like one of my dreams. I just hope I can get people to get, you know, good, friendly, challenging, engaging battle mechanics, you know, something original and not a love letter to retro or 16-bit RPGs like most indie RPGs. I've had it with them. Like every single one of them is a Metroidvania love letter or a 16-bit. It's just, come on, people. Make your own games. Be original, be creative. I've finished Chrono Cross a million times, man. Totally worth playing. Nier did the same? I don't remember any rhythm battles in Nier. Nope. I have beaten both Nier games, the first one and Automata. No, that didn't happen, man. And I know you gotta get a bunch of endings on Automata to get the real ending. I got the real ending. I don't remember a single written game. Or I don't remember the game forcing you to get all the weapons like Drakengard 3 did. Drakengard 1 had the same stupid requirement? Really? Jesus. Are they fucking retarded? Well, how can you force the player to do that, you know? Hey, you wanna get the real ending or any ending of the game? You gotta collect every single weapon in the game. Fuck that, man. Oh, this Disintegration by The Cure is probably my second favorite album of all time, man. I love it. Next to The Fragile by Nine Inch Nails. Big fan of The Cure here and big fan of Disintegration. Chrono Trigger Crimson Echoes. No, I've never played it. The Lemmings? Huh. What? Well, I don't know, people. I have finished Nier Gestalt. Well, the one we got twice. Got the endings, the right endings. I don't remember collecting all the weapons or this. Stop trolling people. I don't know what's wrong with you. That didn't happen. Forcing you to get all the weapons and written battles fucking didn't happen. Stop smoking shit. The Crook Shadows. I like a few songs, but it's just too electronic for my taste, the band, but I like a few songs. My favorite is Sophia from the Crook Shadows. Here I am. I love that song. Alive among the... What do anime games need to do to actually be good? Oh, come on, there's a lot of good anime games. Some fighting games. When it comes to RPGs, I can praise the Full Metal Alchemist games on the PlayStation 2. They aren't a masterpiece, but they're pretty good. Breaking Benjamin? No. Nope. Not a fan. Okay, so you need... That's crazy, man. Top 10 worst RPGs gameplay mechanics. Tracia. The worst is Time and Eternity, man. That battle system is just bad. Bad. Oh, okay, so you need all the weapons to get the C ending. Yeah, I knew about the final ending that erases all of your data. So you need all the weapons to get the C ending? But you don't need all the weapons to beat the game. I love Deftones. Rage Against the Machine? Not really. Too rap-ish for me, too hip-hop-ish for me. Alright people, these are my last minutes. Just gonna stay for a couple of minutes more and I will have to leave. Just giving a heads up. Last questions, people. No, I've never played anything done in RPG Maker. Maybe I have and I don't know. You miss the old Erick theme song? Which one do you mean? Do you mean my intros, right? Do you mean the legendary Sultan theme? Or before that, the one from the Legend of Mana boss battle theme? I haven't played Bloodstained, but I really want to. Not gonna happen, Breath of the Wild. Not happening. I told you, I enjoy fan service, but as a creator, as a writer, no. Not happening. You will never see me sexualizing any of my characters. Oh, come on. I do know He-Man or Conan. I remember the Conan comics. My mom didn't like me and my brother reading them for obvious reasons. I do remember. And He-Man, I have a horror story that I'll leave for another day involving my brother, but I do remember those. Of course, we're talking about cartoons and comics that were published way before I was born. But Conan wasn't exactly part of my childhood, but He-Man was. Favorite soft drink? I don't think I have one. Jrpg with vocal battle theme. The enemy inside of me from the first Disgaea. That's a very good one, man. Have you made any guest appearances on any popular YouTubers' channels yet? Nope. Nobody wants to invite me to their channels. They don't like me. Because my channel is politically incorrect. Plus, I guess I'm somewhat hard to deal with. What game you're currently playing? Octopath Traveler. My opinion on The Witcher 3, I only played for like an hour and a half. I liked it. I couldn't get into it when I played it for the first time, but maybe I'll come back to it one day. RPG based on a movie? I don't know any RPGs based on a movie, Dustin. No. Yes, I watched the movie, the Dragon Quest V movie, Your Story. I liked it. It was pretty good. Ha, interesting question. What's the worst game you ever spent so much money for? I don't know. Time and Eternity. I bought it. It came with a soundtrack. Time and Eternity when I bought it. And I paid like $20, but $20, that's a lot of money for that piece of garbage. Alright people, I gotta go now. This is it for tonight. Well, maybe 5 more minutes. It says here that I've been for 1 hour and 55 minutes. 5 more minutes. Am I writing anything right now? Not at the moment. I'm planning a new book, but not writing anything. Not even a script for my next video. It was improvised. Is there any RPs1 games with very decent anime art style? Yeah. Breath of Fire. The Chrono Cross. A lot of them. I'm still here, people. 5 more minutes. A game you regret selling. Yeah, my special editions of Art Tonelico 1 and 2 and Mana Kimia 1 and 2. I sold a lot of games before I went to England 3.5 years ago. But I've gotten some of them back. Like I sold Star Ocean 2. That hurt. I got it back. Shadow Hearts. I got it back. A lot of games, man, but right now, those are the games that hurt the most and that I haven't recovered. Thank you, Elf Queen Victoria. I'll try to release that book this year. I love Alliance Alive, man. Big fan of it. I've only beaten the 3DS version, though. Do you think Square Enix will mess up Final Fantasy VI if they remake it? Probably. They're probably gonna change the battle system just like they did with Final Fantasy VII. And for a game like Final Fantasy VI, I just don't see how they're gonna pull that off. I think it would be a big mistake to change the battle system in Final Fantasy VI. Similar to modern anime style? You mean like you will have to give me an example of modern anime art style. What do I expect from future JRPGs? Come on, less fan service and more focus on the story and character development, please. Everything else is fine. It's just we live in the fan service era, man. Like I enjoy it, but it's just it's becoming too much. What is it like to live in Canada? Well, it has its ups and downs. For the most part, I like it better here than in Mexico. But it's hard to get along with people, at least in this town where I live, because they are just so simple-minded, not narrow-minded, just simple-minded. They have very, very simple lives. And well, it's a boring place here. There's really nothing interesting to do. I've had a hard time making friends here. But you know, people complain about the weather. I don't. Yes, it was extreme and walking in the snow during the winter was annoying, but I loved it either way. Because you know, I've lived my whole life in a very hot country. So to me, being able to experience the snow the whole winter in a country as cold as this was just fantastic. I love Tokyo RPG Factory games. Big fan of I Am Setsuna. Love that game to pieces, man. What? What's wrong with you, Breath of the Wild? That's an interesting game. For a hentai game, that will be pretty interesting, I gotta admit. It's just when it comes to fan service, if I take a game like Trails of Cold Steel 3 again, was it really necessary to include a lot of fan service, it kind of ruined the game a little bit. But if you're gonna make a game like, the Neptunia games, the more fan service, the better for those games. But a game like Cold Steel, it fucking kills it, man. It doesn't need to be like that. It was hard to move to Canada. I guess it was, leaving my family and friends behind. Do you ever play games in Spanish or Japanese or any other language? Well, I do play a lot of JRPGs in Japanese with English subtitles, but never in Spanish. Alright, people, that was the last question. Okay, one last question. Do you plan to go to Japan? Yes, one of these days, but I need a lot of money. But yes, I would love to go to Japan one of these days. That's it, people. Thank you very much for watching. Thanks for joining. I love doing these streams. Like I said it before, I will keep doing them at the very least once per month. I did 2 streams this month. Well, if you're counting the one that I did on the best JRPG of every year, the final stream that was like 3 hours. But I'll try to make this more often, like once or twice per month. So I guess I'll see you in July. And don't miss tomorrow's video. It's gonna be pretty interesting. It's a very cool top 10, long top 10, and I hope you enjoy it. So thank you very much for watching, people, and for joining and hanging out today with me. See you next time. Oh, thanks, Kalisat. I saw that just before I clicked stop streaming. Thank you very much, Kalisat. See you on Discord.